Warning, this video contains sensitive topics that may not align or be good for you. If you do not like talking about certain things, then don't click onto this video or click off. So please, take your time, and if you have the time, let me talk to you. Have fun, and I hope you enjoy the video. Sensitive topics are ahead, by the way. Last left off was what? Like a oh yeah. The yeah.
This is Avery Quinn of
Okay. It's supposed to explode. Well, son of a gun. Anyways, well, let's. I guess we won't be watching that. You already scanned a lot of things.
For your convenience, the radiation suit has been added to your blueprint database.
Oh, what do you mean? It hasn't happened! No! Wait! No! Ah! Fuck! God. It did. Oh. No! Oh, no! Fuck! Fuck! God damn it, son of a bitch. Oh, boy. Anyways, subnautica videos will be not cut at all. Except for when I'm traveling to places and collecting resources. But besides that, oh, fuck. I swear to God, if it goes off in the background, I will be pissed. Cause I feel, oh, that's severely depressing. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Fuck. Fuck me, apparently. I'm probably gonna cut that out. No, cause, God. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Cause, man, this is some bullshit. Man, this is some actual bull spanking. Some good old bull spanking. Cause trust me, I would love to do that. Yeah, no, it's literally pitch black. I mean, I guess while we're here, I might as well talk about the lore of 4546B, because that's fun. My personal best theories that I have created myself through either wise different means or different ways. So where should we start? Ooh, I know. We should start with one of my personal favorite theories. What was it again? Trying to think of what it was. Ah, yes, the architect. Now, I have a few theories on them and why they even are doing the things on this planet. Seriously, dude?
New
That
blueprint acquired.
that was rude. Anyways, what they're doing here is clearly that they were researching a way for a Krar bacterium. But they must have gone through countless and hundreds and even thousands of planets to just find a planet with a life form that was able to create a cure or something, I guess, that would be able to create a cure. Which is the Sea Empress, which she makes the cure, which is Enzyme 42, or her children do. What comes into question is that how did they know that? Surely, they've probably done research on 100 different type of
Local
leviathans.
radiation readings suggest the Aurora's drive core is reached critical state. Quantum detonation can occur within 2 hours.
Whatever. Anyways, and they did several tests on multiple leviathans, most likely, like the Sea Emperor Leviathan, because that's why I think they took its egg, was to get either an enzyme out of its stomach because of its close relationship to the Sea Emperor. And you're like, oh, they don't look similar. I mean, they do share some common traits. And I'm guessing they evolved from the same ancestors, so they do share. Let let's do say that they share a common ancestry. But unfortunately, the Sea Emperor mother was more aggressive, or not Sea Emperor, but the lava lizard, or whatever it's called, was more aggressive than they thought. Meaning, it most likely, which we know, destroyed the base that had its egg, causing, which is also where I think Krar is, causing it to release onto the whole planet, devastating it forever.
Aurora, this is Sunbeam again. We just picked up a massive debris field at your location. I didn't know how many of you... I didn't know. We're now en route to your location. We're gonna bring you home. Sunbeam out. What else can I say? The only time I parked a rig this big on a rock that small was in VR, and I blew it. It's a bad option, all right, but so are all the others.
And besides that, most of the Leviathans on this planet are extremely aggressive. And when I mean aggressive, I mean aggressive. I mean, think about it. The Reaper Leviathan has tissue of humans in it. Yeah, they eat whatever they see. So of course they're aggressive. But how aggressive are they? Well, it's clear that whatever was in the crash zone was most likely where they laid their eggs. So meaning they are hyper aggressive around that area. It makes sense why there are, what, 5, 6, maybe 7 of them? Because they are hyper aggressive and continue to stick to where their breeding grounds are. So most likely that's where they are. And I've heard a couple of theories that the architects saw them as aggressive creatures. No. But saw them as aggressive creatures, destroyed their grounds for breeding, and made them all sterile. But why would they do that when they are looking for an enzyme in every Leviathan? Why would they make something that could possibly be the cure to their disease problem sterile? That would make no sense. At all. None. Literal. Zilch. None. So that makes me think that wherever their breeding grounds were most likely at the crash zone. That's my theories. That's my thoughts. And most likely the Aurora destroying literally most of the Reaper population didn't sit well with them. And yeah, I guess you could say that they're attracted to loud noises and other things. But yeah, sure, that's cool. But I feel like my theory is way more cooler than most. And so what if it's not that cool? It's all a theory for a reason. Anyways, that's besides the point. Why would the architects that could possibly have a cure in the Leviathan, or the Reaper Leviathan, which, not to mention, is completely immune to the Karar bacterium? Because guess what? What do we never see on him? Or see on them? A single green spot. Now, yes, you could say in Below Zero there was that giant Leviathan that, you know, had that you could say that had a bunch of green spots, but yeah, but other Leviathans, no. Because guess what? It had claws. That means it was land. Means that it walked on land. So it probably didn't even share the same genetics as the Sea Emperor to the rest of the Leviathans. Because think about it. If it can't get the Karar, that means it must be related to the Sea Emperor. So that would put the Ghost Leviathan, the Reaper Leviathan, the Sea Dragon, or the Sea Dragon Emperor, or whatever his name was, and the Sea Empress, or whatever, in the same family, or at least extremely distant relatives.
Seek fluid intake
God,
immediately.
I know, but I'm fine. Actually, no, I'm not. Shoot. So let's just let my crazy ass theory boil here for a second. Let me cook, I say. Let me cook. So let's just say that my theory is correct and that all Leviathans that cannot get sick from the Carabacterium are closely related in some way. That goes back into my theory of why would the architects get rid of something that could possibly cure the disease to their problem that they've had for near generations. It would make no sense why they would sterilize a whole entire species just to stop them from attacking their, whole operations. Makes no sense. How the hell do I have blood oil? Besides that. And well, oh, you could say a bunch of other things. But no, hear me out. It makes sense. Just a little bit. And like, yeah, these are just crazy ramblings from me. But truly, I know most of the lore has been discovered. But we still don't know. Well, we know the motives on why they come here. But I just like discussing this, honestly. Now, if I think about this in a logical sense, like a human would for making a cure, I would not try to
Bleach is an
kill.
essential chemical used for cleaning wounds and purifying water.
Why would I, as a scientist, if I was
Preparing
one of
a day's
them,
water ration ahead of time will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
if I was a scientist, and let's think in a scientist way, would you kill a creature that could possibly cure a disease that has been ravaging your species for hundreds and thousands of years, maybe? Even. No, you wouldn't! Because what any good logical thinking would that have? You would have to be brain pooed to not think that would not be logical. Now, yes, there are multiple reasons why they just did it, because they were extremely aggressive and extremely territorial, to even the point where they knowingly attacked bases multiple times just because. I mean, that's also another possibility. Again, here's the thing. The architect bases, somehow, they do not completely collapse under the water pressure of the sea. Just look at all the power buildings of the architects. Do you see them half destroyed, broken, decaying? No! They're perfectly fine. They have a little algae. The architects as a species itself are extremely advanced in the logical thinking. They're a hyper-intelligent species that know a lot of things because of below zero. We've gotten to interact with one in below zero, actually. Oh, God. That's not good. Anyways, that's besides the point. I guess all this pointless rambling was kind of productive. Still. I still like to think it in a logical sense, and in a way that would make sense for the species of the architects. And sure. And yeah, sure. They're a species of hyper-intelligent aliens. I mean, what else did you kind of expect?
locator draws from available data to provide environment-appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
You know what? Never mind. I feel like I'm not paid enough to say anything, so I don't need to care.
New blueprint acquired. The Builder tool is designed to construct habitats capable of withstanding extreme environmental conditions.
Anyways, I guess that's what else can I mindlessly rant about for 5 feet? The Altera Corporation itself is a mega corporation that has millions, and not millions, but trillions and trillions of dollars. They're probably gazillionaires or whatever. Like the Google number for that number. Because if they're also used for interstellar travel, that means they are extremely rich. Now, of course, like I was thinking, they were sent out on a mission to retrieve anything about the Degassi crew. The crew that crash landed here way before the Altair Company. Before the Aurora did. And of course, the Aurora is a gigantic ship. But here's the thing. There were extreme malpractices in there. Not malpractices, but a lot of things, actually. Like, it's actually kind of undescribable on the horrors that happened on that ship. I mean, it was a ship for maybe like 135 people-ish. And there was like a lot more than it should have had. There were enough life pods for everyone. But like any gigantic greedy corporation, they would overstock the ship. Now, of course, this happens a lot in real life. Greedy corporations they need money real quick. So, why don't they just overstock the ship with a bunch of cargo and other things and not let anyone know? And if it crashes, oh, so whatever. Just blame it on, like, the engineers or, yeah, anyone, really. There's the reason why scapegoats exist. But I guess that's besides the point.
Integrating new PDA data.
You really think it'll carry 2 of us?
Your regular sea glide tows a mass of 80 kilograms at over 30 kilometers an hour. The power cellar rig to this one should double that.
You think there's something out there that's faster?
Oh, sure. And that's assuming it doesn't overload 3 meters from the life pod.
You're calm about this.
I'm seeing the engineering problem. If I stop seeing the maths,
Emergency.
I'll be terrified.
Quantum detonation has occurred in the Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a supercritical state in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Huh. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing to worry about. I'm sure of it. Nothing at all to worry about. Oh my god, they just exploded. The Aurora's reactor bay just exploded. I mean, Jesus. It wasn't even a nuclear bomb. It was a reactor. It was made to power the ship. God forbid to know what happens if it reaches even more of a critical mass. What if it was even stronger than it was? Then what would have happened? I mean, God, if it was even stronger than that, it would be a mass planetary-wide destruction. I mean, let alone the Aurora's drive core is something of an oppressive marvel of engineering itself. And if a drive core can just do that as a simple explosion, then if they say that weapons aren't included into the standard survival kit, what are their weapons? How dangerous are they? Because if a simple drive core can explode that big, what else can their weapons do? Are they even more dangerous than most things? Are they deadly? I mean, I would say, I've seen it in VR, I would say that explosion, comparing it to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it trumps in comparisons, but still. It's impressive what nuclear engineering can do to a planet. And to a lot of things, really. I mean, sure, I've been rambling on about random stuff, but I guess there is a lot of destructive nature in human society. I mean, why would my mind immediately go to how much destructive capability does it have used as a weapon? That doesn't prove that humans are tendency violent in nature, then I don't know what says else works. I don't want to sound rude, but humans in their natural nature are extremely aggressive. I mean, sure, you could say, oh, but I'm a peaceful guy. Are you sure you want to be saying that? Because, yeah, you may say that, and you may resent violence. But deep down, intelligence wasn't necessarily an advantage in evolution. It was just a byproduct of evolving. And with intelligence comes so much more, including war, a lot of things. Damn, how the fuck did this turn into like a something talk? Like talking about war. Like, I mean, Jesus, it went from, oh, it's like Matt Pat when he said, oh, look at this slop. Alright, now back to practical change. It was like that. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna philosophy this shit up. It's so fucking random. It's so random how we went from, oh, architecture and advanced species to, in the human nature, truly, violence is built into the base. No, I'm pausing here. I'm letting this soak in for you. literally said a lot of things that are random. But if you're this far in the video, and you're truly thinking to yourself right now, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is semi-right. It's like, he kind of knows what he's talking about. I mean, in human nature, it is key to be violent towards people that you don't know and don't trust. I mean, how would you feel if a random person just comes up to you and tries to mug you? Like, of course, I'm not saying all humans are violent. I'm not saying that all things are violent. They're just violent to things they don't understand. God, that blends right in when you shine a light on it. Or a blue one. Like, I just thought I was going crazy for a second. And to think, it is in human nature to think about things in the capacity of how destructive will that be towards another person. And to think my brain thought of that first before anything else proves that humans are violent in some natures. Or it could just be me. It is truly hard to believe that someone that you trust could do something horrendous. Someone that you look up to, you could probably never believe that they would hurt a fly, and yet they're the most horrifying criminal years later. And you are horrified that you looked up to that person and thought he was a good role model. And to think that he did so much good for the world, which he probably did. But sometimes, the human brain alone is incredibly hard to understand. It is somewhat impossible, even. If it wasn't for a bunch of things.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Power restored.
Understanding the way that a human thinks, the way that a human feels, the way that a person is. It's hard to think of someone as a violent person. It's hard to think about that middle school friend that you trusted so much could turn out to be such a horrendous person. Turns out to be evil. To be a monster. Think about this, Wood. I'm sure that you have someone that you look up to, like a teacher, or a parent, or a YouTuber,
Passing
or
100 meters. Oxygen efficiency
any
decreased.
adult. Would you
Scans show a nearby cave entrance, depth 90 meters, leading to an unknown environmental biome.
Would you trust that person if they told you to do something? Would you do it because they told you to do it? And I'm hoping you guys will say no. Of course not. Especially if it involves hurting people. Why would you hurt somebody? But then again, you don't want to disappoint the person you look up to the most.
PDA data.
People aren't innately monsters. They never are. It is how they are shaped to be monsters. I've seen firsthand myself watching somebody come from being a normal person to being horrendous, a monster even. What would you call a person that wouldn't be socially accepted as a person? Something you wouldn't think about. Something you wouldn't really care about, would you? And yet, here you are, questioning, what should you do? I know, yeah, there's bunch of other things, but I know I'm not in the field of psychology. But the reason why I think people do something because they're scared. Because they don't know what they're doing. Because they want answers, but nobody's giving them answers. So either they'll force answers out of somebody, or they might hurt themselves trying to get those answers.
Blueprint acquired.
Trying to forcefully get those answers. And yes, maybe it's good that they live and learn. That's how it happens.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
But I feel like some people should be given the help they need.
30 seconds.
And to think about all the YouTubers that contacted little kitties. You know, those YouTubers. To think a lot of people looked up to them. A lot of people trusted them. And here they are, and you're not even able to trust what you see nowadays. You're unable to trust even yourself sometimes. Maybe it's a good thing that you shouldn't trust everyone you meet. Maybe it's a bad thing that you should trust everyone that you meet. Maybe that's your flaw. Maybe that's what makes you, you, like me. I give a lot. I don't expect much. I don't expect anything back. I don't really expect anything. In my belief as a kid, a relationship is as one-sided as it can. You don't gain anything from a meaningful relationship. Just mutual benefits and everything else. And if you don't learn that friends are just friends because, then how are you will be able to distinguish between actual relationships with people, with relationships with people that you think you should have relationships with? Man, I'm really philosophizing this stuff up. Or I'm making no sense. But when it comes to the standards of most relationships, sure, there's people that are scared of themselves, scared of others, or scared to leave a relationship that has turned extremely abusive. And sure, that some things should stay the same, but sometimes you would need to reach out and get help.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
And I've personally struggled with mental health, with other things. I've realized in all the years that I've lived that the most things I've struggled with were saying, I need help and I'm scared. Those were hard for me to say. To accept that I wasn't fully there sometimes. That I needed more than just simple care. I needed medication. I needed everything. I personally dealt with ADHD for most of my life. And surprisingly, I've never flaunted around saying, I have ADHD, look at me. I mean, it's obvious that I have attention deficit disorder. Yes, you may think, oh, I don't have it. But think about it. How many times have I changed topics? Like 3 or 4 or 5 times, even. Do you see what kind of game I'm playing? A game that I'm completely focused on and detached from reality. This game allows me to express the feeling of I have some power over the unknown. Because when I play a game that I know what happens every time I do something, when an action, I know what happens. When I do something, I know what is the result. It's repetitive. It allows me to have what little control I have in my life. I'm sure you're saying that can turn into darker
Vital signs
things,
stabilizing.
into more controlling other people. Here's the thing, I don't have much control over as much as you do of your life. We're just on one big roller coaster of whoopie-doo-looky ride. One that has barely any end in sight and has more twists and turns than anything else you've ever seen. And if you think you have the answers to all your problems, sure, maybe you do. But most likely you are just lying to yourself, trying to make you feel better about your situation. There's so many families in a lot of places that have problems. Reasons why they don't do much or why they don't even want to go out of their house. Because they know every time they go to work, there's a possibility that they could just be fired. And that's why I believe why people lash out in very violent ways and in different ways. It all boils down to a lot of things. But in particularly, what I think it boils down to the most is money. Money is the root of most problems. You can't get healthcare in America? Well, too bad. You need money for that. You don't have any? Well, then you're sick. You don't have money? Too bad. You can't eat. You don't have money? Too bad. You don't have a house. You don't have money? Too bad. You can't pay taxes. You don't have money? Too bad. Can't do anything. Can't go anywhere. Can't pay for gas, can't go to work. You don't have money? You can't afford car repairs. Without a car, you can't go to work. Without going to work, you can't get money. Without money, you can't get better jobs. Without money, you can't get PhD, get more jobs than one. Without money, you can't do anything. And then there's all those rich people that say, oh, but money's such a hindrance, a bother. Oh, then give me your wealth. If you don't want it, give it away. And now, yeah, sure, a random kid online saying, oh, all the problems is just in money. Everyone says that. Personally, what my problem is, and what my family's problem is money. So, what I'm saying has to have some truth to it. Right? Right. Or not, right? Or could my personality just be a problematic child? Someone who doesn't have much to show for or much to do except for tell their story. I've always wanted to tell my story. I've always wanted to talk about what I struggle with. I struggle with so much. I don't know what life is like for a lot of people. I only have one view, and that view is no money, nothing to do. I'm scared sometimes. What if one day you just wake up and all the money you have is gone? You have nothing. And who's gonna care, really? Family, maybe. But unless nowadays, if you don't have proof that money was stolen or anything, nobody cares. Because it's not a story that is favorable to look at. A story that would pop the news articles more and more, or make them more famous. If your story doesn't align with any agendas with anyone, they won't give two rats' ass. Because why would they promote somebody that wouldn't make them even more richer than they already are? So, the simplest answer is don't. Ignore them. Leave them in the shadows. Make sure to forget about them. To not care about anything. To really care. That's what I think. And I think that's enough for this video. So, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And sure, my views on the world can be very one-sided, but if you're willing to listen next time to what I have to say about my life, and what I have to say about games I like playing, then feel free to tune in next time. Feel free to have fun. Because what it really boils down to is, do you have the time to listen to somebody's story? And if you do, listen to them. Give them the voice you have. Give them the time you don't want to give. Give them a voice. Give them what they need. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more posts.